Yo, what's going on everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. And today I wanted to ask the question, why do you still play Pokemon Go? What is it about this game that keeps you motivated to keep playing? I feel like this is a very important question because when it comes to Pokemon Go's current state, there really isn't much that they are offering. You're not necessarily motivated to go out and play Pokemon Go as much as you used to be. And that's mainly because at this point, everyone has all of the Pokemon that has ever been released. And it's really just a game that's extremely repetitive. There's not much going on in Pokemon Go. But I do think there are a couple of reasons why players continue to play Pokemon Go, and I think these are some of the things that Niantic needs to build upon. And if they do, I think people are going to continue to play this game. Now for myself, the main reasons why I play Pokemon Go are two things. First, there is the Buddy Adventure system. I don't know what it is about Buddy Adventure, but the big thing that motivates me to log into Pokemon Go every single day is to get as many best buddies as I possibly can. Something about getting those ribbons on almost every single one of my Pokemon is what's driving me to continue to play Pokemon Go. And if you've done anything with Buddy Adventure, you would know that it is tedious and it requires a lot of effort. For every single one of my 100% IV Pokemon, as well as all of my Go Battle League Pokemon, as well as my Shinies and Shundos that I want to keep for a very long time, yeah, every single one of them I want to turn into best buddies. I want to work towards getting that best buddy ribbon on each of those Pokemon, and that has pretty much been the driving force for me playing Pokemon Go for the past several years. Now another thing that has motivated me to continue to play Pokemon Go is, well, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I want an extremely large collection of Shundos. Shundos being perfect IV shiny Pokemon, I want to get as many of them as I possibly can. They are pretty much the penultimate Pokemon that you can have in your collection, and I want to get as many of them as possible. In fact, that's basically why I continue playing Pokemon Go, because I want to raid as many Pokemon as I can, I want to do as many shiny hunts as I can, whatever it takes to get myself a whole bunch of Shundos. That's basically what's been motivating me to continue to play the game. But for some players, these two things are not at the top of their priorities. I don't think a lot of players out there actually care about getting Shundos or best buddy Pokemon. So what is it exactly that motivates them from playing? Well, I've been looking around Reddit and I've been looking around social media, and the sentiment seems to be clear. There are two things that players actually care about. One is completing their Pokedexes, because yes, there is a lot of Pokemon for you to collect in Pokemon Go. And then of course, PvP. There's really nothing else that motivates a lot of players. PvP is central because it is consistent gameplay. It's something that's constantly changing, and it's something that definitely gets players involved in Pokemon Go's gameplay. Like, if you want to get ahead in PvP, you need to have a robust collection of a lot of different Pokemon. And you also need to set up those Pokemon a specific way, which means you're going to need a whole bunch of Stardust. I think this is probably the primary motivating factor for a majority of players to continue to play Pokemon Go, and I think it's something Niantic needs to build upon. Now, I totally recognize that PvP is not going to be something for everyone. A lot of players out there just simply do not care about PvP, and I can totally understand that. In fact, I'm one of those players. For a couple of seasons now, I've been attempting to get to Legend Rank, but ever since I haven't been able to keep up with the changing meta, I just haven't really been interested in PvP. Like, I'll still jump into PvP battles, mainly for those rewards, but aside from that, like, I'm not going gung-ho like I used to be. And because of that, I just simply haven't been investing in a lot of Pokemon. I haven't really been following up with the meta. But regardless, I still feel like PvP has been a central part of Pokemon Go's gameplay. And because of that, I feel like Niantic needs to do more, like make it a lot more accessible. I don't know how they could pull that off, but as of right now, I think that's one of the things that's hurting PvP is accessibility. People are just simply not able to get into PvP because they do not have the right Pokemon. I feel like that's something Niantic needs to change. Maybe they should have more PvP-centric Pokemon. I mean, they pretty much have every single community day be a PvP Pokemon. I really do not know what it could be, but I do think Niantic needs to do something so that PvP is a lot more accessible. And going along those lines, I think another thing Niantic should do is add more competitive game modes in Pokemon Go. Like, I think it's about time we got ourselves a gym rework. Something that is going to be a lot more competitive, because as of right now, with everything in Pokemon Go, the only form of competitive gameplay is of course PvP. And if you're just not into PvP, well, you're out of luck. There's nothing else for you to really care about in Pokemon Go. Yes, the raiding scene is pretty good, but it's not as what it used to be. A lot of players just have all of the best Pokemon for raids at this point, so whenever a raid boss comes out, you don't really have to worry about whether or not you have the best counters in your collection. You likely have a good amount of Pokemon that are going to be good for that raid boss. So that gameplay loop is essentially non-existent. Like, raids have always been a good form of endgame content, but not so much anymore. Like, it's kind of an outdated form of gameplay. So I really do not know. I feel like what the best solution is at this moment is, of course, the gym rework that is bound to happen. But aside from that, I really feel like Niantic is focusing a lot of their resources on the wrong aspects of Pokemon Go. Yeah, it's nice that we got some visual updates. It's nice that we got a brand new AR Plus system. But these are things that are not going to retain players. People are not going to continue playing the game just so they can get a much cooler AR Plus shot. Like, I feel like they need to add a lot more forms of gameplay that are very similar to PvP. Competitive game modes, I don't know what it could be, like have some sort of world leaderboard system. That's been something I've been wanting for such a long time, because having local leaderboards was a great way for players to get motivated to catch as many Pokemon as they can or raid as many Pokemon as they can. I really do not know what it is Niantic could do, but they need to come up with something. I feel like less and less players are interested in staying in Pokemon Go every single day. Like, the kind of raids that have been in Pokemon Go are pretty much redundant at this point. PvP is really hard to get into. Yeah, Niantic is having a retention problem, and I really do hope they come up with something really quick. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. What is the reason why you still play Pokemon Go? Is it PvP? Is it something else? Definitely share what that is down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to every single patron on my Patreon. You all make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you can do so is by becoming a paid Patreon member. The reason for that is because that will get you a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then do consider joining me on Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a different way, you could always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. Alright, and that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula, be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.